Good morning, good morning, good morning. Freezing out here. I am with my guest this morning on the Off-Limit Radio Show, Mr. Cyril Derreumaux. Did I get that right?
100%. Good.
I got that right?
Good morning, Neil.
I'm also here with my longtime friend. He's not on the camera, but Mr. Dave Laustalot. We've been friends for, I'm going to have to say 40 years.
I was 2.
You were, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you guys watched on the show the other day, Mr. Chris Burdish was here and talking about his wing foiling across the Pacific from Half Moon Bay to Oahu. Well, I get a call from my friend here, Dave. He goes, hey, I have another friend of mine who's paddling across the Pacific in his kayak, which happens to be this gentleman right here, Mr. Cyril Derreumaux. And I just don't understand what's over with all these guys paddling across the Pacific. So, Cyril's going to be going on a kayak, right?
Yes, correct.
One man kayak?
One man, solo, yeah.
Okay, tell us all about it. What's going on?
It's all about dreaming. It's all about the adventure and all about following your guts and why not?
Right.
And I did that crossing from Monterey to Hawaii 5 years ago on a 4-man rowing boat, and I swore I'd never do it again. Like, it was hell.
It was
nights were hell. Nights were. I mean, it was beautiful. Obviously, it was amazing.
Right.
But so hard. I'm a regular guy. I'm not.
You keep saying you're a regular guy.
I'm a regular guy. It's true. I started paddling 10 years ago.
That was it?
Yeah.
You're a 10-year veteran of paddling?
I started in on the Golden Gate. There's a club called Tamalpais. I started outrigger canoe.
Right.
And the first race was a 8-mile race, a novice race. It was around the Rock Alcatraz. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning to eat pasta so I would have the carbs.
Right.
I was so pumped for like half an hour race.
Right.
I didn't know what I was
It was
doing.
a half-hour race and you're up at 4 o'clock eating pasta.
Yeah, because you have to have your carb load. That was 10 years ago. And then I did a race, 8 miles, 10 miles, and then 20 miles. And then the dream was Molokai Hoe, cross from Molokai to Oahu, you know, the outrigger canoe race.
Right.
And I did that with a team. It was amazing. What the feeling you get. You know, you've done a race before. You know that chill you get before you start the race. Well, that's multiplied by 10.
Right.
And the moment you get on the shore in Oahu and Waikiki, wow, you pushed your limits. Amazing. I want to do that again and again. So I did it 4 times with different crews. And then there's a race up in Sacramento, the California 100. It's 100 miles. And now it's called the California River Quest.
On the Delta?
No, on the Delta. It's down from Redding, down the river.
Okay.
So it's 100 miles. It
Right.
was 12 hours. I say, how can I train for 12 hours? And then you just learn about nutrition. You learn about managing your effort. You learn about technique. You got to get a bit technique, about all that stuff. And then I did 100 miles. And then next race, I had a few friends from the outrigger canoe. Hey, there's this race in Canada. It's called the Yukon River Quest. It's 440 miles. What? 440 miles? Yeah, that's 50 hours of paddling through the night. And then we got our crew together, 1 year of training. How do you get ready for this? You ask people who know. You get ready for this, 50 hours in. Same, the bliss at the end, like, wow. You think you can't, and you keep going, and you love it.
Right.
And the camaraderie with friends, this is what I love. And then I stumble upon this website that says, look, you don't have to be a rower to cross an ocean. It's all about mental.
Right.
Yeah, and I by that point I figured out I'm not very strong, I'm not very fast, but I can keep going. And I'm pretty optimistic. And that's my strength. So then I put a crew together and we rowed across. We beat the Guinness record and we get to Hawaii in 39 days. And like I said, I'll never do it again.
What was the hell part of that trip?
The hell for me, well, the moment you're in the storm at night, you have to go on the oars because the boat has to keep moving, and you see the strength, because the concept of death is a theory and we know we're gonna die.
Right.
But until you're at that moment, like, fuck, excuse my French,
No.
I could die.
Right.
I mean, this is not in my control. You lose control.
Right.
You like whatever you do, you lose control. You can't. I mean, so that's real and that's hard. That's tough. Now you have your friends with you, you know, and you put the sea anchor in, and you slow down, and the boat goes on the wave better way. You still have to go through it, but yeah, that's the hell part. I mean, hell is, it's every day grinding to get those miles in, pushing to beat the record. I mean, that I spoke a lot about being a regular guy.
So how are you overcoming the hell part on the solo trip? Because you know you're going to get to a point where the wall or the hell point is. How are you going to overcome that?
So
that issue?
There are a bunch of mental techniques about reframing, adapting, like staying positive and removing the negative thoughts. I actually don't know. I'm an extrovert, like 100%. If you know Enneagram, I'm a type 7. I'm an enthusiast. I need people. This is going to be my biggest challenge, to be
Being
alone.
alone. Right?
Being alone.
Right.
I don't know. And
Right.
my cockpit is so much smaller than the rowing boat that I was in.
Yeah.
It's literally this.
Yeah.
And my cabin is as big as a coffin. So I don't know. I'm going to try. And I don't think I bit too much, but my threshold increased little by little.
Right.
And obviously you don't wake up one day, I want to cross an ocean.
No.
But that's why I explained my journey from starting at the Golden Gate, an 8-mile, half-an-hour race, to crossing solo, because you feel like you can do it. It's a big bite to chew, but you can do it.
You have to feel like you can do it. You got to feel like you're going to.
Yeah, you have to believe it. In fact, you have to do more than believe it. If you say it, but you in your guts you don't feel it, don't go.
No. Tell me about the kayak. Let the viewers know about the kayak.
Yeah.
The equipment you're taking, what you're not taking, how you're eating. Can you tell us about everything that's on board?
I reproduced everything that I had learned on my first ocean row for electronics, safety, and safety first. So it's a boat that's been designed in England by Rob Filloy, and it's a self-righting boat. So if it does flip over, it'll self-righten.
Right.
The ballast is under the waterline. Most of the weight is under the waterline. It's created for the crossing where it would, when I go back in the cabin, it should aim downwind automatically. That's the hull has been built for this. I've got a water maker that is powered. I've got 2 solar panels that power, bring energy to 2 lithium-ion batteries, and those batteries will feed all the electronics. I've got a VHF. I've got a plotter. I've got the water maker is the biggest consumption of water. I don't have an auto helm. I'll be steering on my own.
Right.
Food, freeze-dried food. I've got a partner in my company that works with me. It's called Standard Process, and they give me a bar. It's 550 calories, so it's a meal in a bar.
Right.
I'll have that in case I can't cook. I can't even heat water.
No.
I'll have that and a lot of snacks. The theory, we don't really know, but if you paddle 10 to 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, you could spend up to 8,000 calories. Right, on a regular day, you and I will eat 2,000 calories, right? So you can eat 6,000 calories a day, but after 6,000, your body can't really process the food. So you'll eat it and go through your body, but you won't extract the nutrients. So I'm going to be at a deficit. I'll probably lose weight, most likely.
Yeah.
Everybody loses weight. My first crossing was 39 days. I lost 15 pounds. Double that, 70 days, more or less. Hopefully less. I might lose 25 pounds.
Yeah. So
that's going to be crucial. Food.
How do you project your course? How
Okay, so
via compass or how?
Yeah, I've got a plotter,
right.
And every day there's a router, a French router, professional router is going to give me. He looks at the forecast of the next 4 days, and he'll see, the strength of the wind, the direction of the wind, the current. He'll see also the size of the wave, the frequency of the wave, the height of the wave. He's going to tell me all this every day. So I put a waypoint on my GPS 150 miles away, and that's a latitude, longitude coordinates.
Right.
And then I go on the cockpit, that I've got a repeater, tells me, okay, here's your waypoint. This is where you go.
Safety equipment. What safety equipment do you have?
So we have an equipment called an EPIRB. That's on the boat, and you press it, and for 72 hours it sends your location via satellite and VHF to all the boats.
Okay.
I've got another one on myself
right.
called a PLB, personal locator beacon. That's safety. I've got another one called AIS. It's automatic identification system. That's on the plotter. The container ship on their radar will see me.
Yeah.
and they'll see, they click on it, they see Ocean Kayak Valentine is a 7 meter long. It goes this speed, is going to Hawaii, and it's white. And they know everything about my boat. That's how the container ship know about each other.
Right.
I've got another antenna called the RTE. It's a radar transmitter enhancer. So what it does is the big container ship will send a radar, and it rebounds on my RTE, comes back, and they'll see me on top of the AIS. And that tells them, you know, okay, these guys, it's RTE for a container ship. So they think I'm a container ship. That's big. You know, they'll see me.
Right.
As safety. Safety is also, I have a life raft. It's a one-man life raft. It's tiny. It's like a little suitcase like this. Inflatable.
Right.
And that's very ultimate. I'll have a survival suit that I have to get into in case, you know, I'm swamped, I can't get the water out or whatever. I have to wait for the law or the requirement for if you go in such an expedition is to be self-sustainable for at least 48 hours before safety comes. So you think about hypothermia, you think about, you know, eating. You have a throw bag where you have another GPS or another sat phone or another VHF, or, you know, flares. All this is thought.
If you do, if the kayak does roll over because of whatever, you may hit by something or whatever, how much is that stuff that's going to stay on the boat? Is it all able to remain compact?
Yeah, so
or?
Yeah, I've hatches that are completely closed, and those should be okay.
Okay.
On the deck, on the cockpit, everything should be attached.
Okay.
But it's not like a wave comes out of nowhere. There are some rogue waves that come out of nowhere, and they could be flipping me. But most of the time, if it's a storm, you know it ahead of time. So you attach everything.
Okay.
In fact, my threshold would be, I think, 15 knots of wind. And that's when it becomes unsafe, and safety first. So I'm going to go back in the cabin, put the sea anchor out, which is basically a parachute.
Right.
200 feet of line.
Yeah.
And that will make the boat being perpendicular to the wave.
Okay.
So I will ride the wave up and down.
And how much distance is there between the on the deck of that much?
This is 20 centimeters. It's actually 25 centimeters.
25 centimeters from the ocean to where you're
to
sitting.
me, and that's a big difference. There's a lot of people that row ocean, and it's becoming possible for anybody like you could row an ocean because
easy, Dave. He's blowing me up right now.
It's true. It's true.
What'd you bring him for?
So Dave is my land support.
Dave is?
Yes.
Yeah.
We did the Yukon River Quest together. I called him one day. I say, hey, what are you doing? Such and such state. You want to be on a 4-man boat for 50 hours?
He goes, yeah. Dave would say, yeah. Dave
yes,
he did. Dave's the first person you call.
Yeah, and he was solid. I loved his way of thinking and being feet on the ground. And if I need somebody who knows me, but who still would be not too emotional, in the way that if he has to take a big decision to say, okay, we got to send search and rescue because you're hallucinating.
Right.
You know, I would trust him to do that.
Right.
He can't be a good friend that is, you know, overwhelmed by emotion and would not take the right decision. So
I don't mean to hop back on Birdish, but I keep thinking of the interview I did after Birdish finished his transatlantic crossing about what happened. You know, what happened during during his journey. And it was unbelievable. I mean, the things that he went through was totally unexpected. I mean, I'm not going to go through the whole interview right now, but some of the things that happened to him were very unexpected. And yet you're out there on your own. There's no help. There's nothing. And the things the things that he had to deal with, or someone else has to deal with, is you got to think of them on the spot.
Yeah. So there's part of that, but there's a lot of part of planning.
Right.
You have to have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C for everything. A water maker.
But if plan D shows up, or plan E, F, or G arrives, you got to figure it out on the spot.
Yeah. You have tools. You fix it.
Right.
Most of us, when we do this, we don't want to quit. There's no reason for, like, I've been working on this for 3 years. I'm taking 3 months off just to do this. There's no way I'm quitting. No. If it's life, like, I don't want to die, believe it or not.
Right. You're just a simple guy.
I'm a simple guy. I've got 2 kids. I don't want to die.
You should have that. You should have a T-shirt. I'm a simple guy that doesn't want to die. That would be a good shirt. Right?
I have that shirt. That's why I stay on the ground.
I'm a simple guy that doesn't want to die.
So I cross an ocean.
Right. Where are you from
No,
in France?
Okay, let's do
In
the
Fran- where
t-shirt
you
thing.
from?
I want that doesn't want to die, but that want to live, and I want to live. Like a lot of people go next to their lives, they don't really live. Okay, I'm from France.
Where-
from
I know, whereabouts in France?
North of France.
Where?
Lille,
Okay.
little village, 5,000 people. Saint-Gall-en-Mélantois.
And you live here, where do you live here, in San Francisco?
Near the marine.
Okay.
In,
And what do you do for a living?
Right now, I've got a few projects. I
Right.
sell paddling gear online. A company called Underwater 360. I've got a pillow company. I sell pillows online, and that are artisan made that I bring in India. I've got a company that imports furniture. It's been
You're
hit
busy.
hard
Right. Yeah, COVID.
because of COVID.
Yeah.
I've got another company that does pet grooming.
It's because it wears a lot of hats, Dave.
Hey, the whole idea is to be able to take 3 months off and have
Abs-
everything running without me. That was the deal, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. When are you supposed to be taking off?
End of May,
Okay, from where?
from San Francisco.
Okay.
Forever it was Monterey because I left my first time from Monterey. There has a lot of reasons to leave from Monterey.
Because Ed Gillette left for Monterey,
Ed Gillette.
right? Now Ed
The
Gillette.
legend.
Ed Gillette.
Legend.
Ed Gillette. You said to me, Neil, make sure you mention Ed Gillette. Ed Gillette.
No, make sure you know because he's a legend. He's nobody will repeat what he's done. Nobody. Because take a two-man kayak.
He was on a two-man kayak.
Two-man kayak.
But he was solo.
But off the shelf, solo. Like
right off the
I've
shelf,
got a
right.
cabin. I've
Right.
got a jeep. He did, okay, so at night he would slide down in the back cockpit, put a tarp over himself, inflate 2 pontoons so he would have more stability. He didn't have a GPS. He would navigate with a sextant.
Right, that's crazy.
He did that back in
And
1987.
Right.
He had no satellite phone. He had some food, but
I was reading where he ran out of food on the 60th day, and he made
Yes.
he made it to Hawaii on the 64th day.
The
So
story-
for 4 days he wasn't eating. And
he had a toothpaste. He would put it on his gum to have a fresh mouth, and he would do it again and again. He finished the whole toothpaste. He arrived. People thought we were dead because he had a system to send his position, but it failed after a few weeks. So they thought he was dead.
right.
And he arrived in Maui, thought he was like, yeah, hero. Nobody was there. You know?
Right.
I mean, the guy's a legend. And I read his book. Yeah, I recommend people to read it. It's called The Pacific Alone. And I'll never reproduce what he's done.
Right.
Um,
Is he still alive?
Yeah,
Have
I
you
met
talked-
him.
have you talked-
I
you
did.
talked-
I met him.
Yeah. So have you talked to other people who've made these crossings?
Yes.
Like Breck Burdish or other people that
Yeah,
made this?
so kayak crossing
Yeah.
is specific. And the first one I spoke to was Peter Bray. In 2001, he crossed from Canada, the North Atlantic, Canada to Ireland. 76 days. I spoke to him.
From
and
Canada to Ireland.
to
across
Ireland.
Atlantic.
Yeah. In fact, the boat builder, Rob Filoy, is the same as mine. I called Rob. I said, look, I want you to build the same boat. And he said, look, I'm retired. I don't have a shop. I don't have anything. And I must have been convincing because he agreed 20
Right.
years after to build another boat. But there's another, Scott Donaldson. Scott Donaldson crossed the Tasman Sea from Australia to New Zealand. He did it 3 times. The first time he failed after a few weeks. Second time he almost made it and had to give up his boat. And the third time he finally completed it.
Right.
So amazing to be able to speak to him and he gave me his tips, his athletic tips, how to get
Right.
ready physically.
Right.
I'm talking tonight to Justin Jones. He had a double. He crossed the Tasman Sea on a double. I didn't speak to Alexander Doba. Alexander Doba crossed 3 times the Atlantic
Right.
on his big kayak. Amazing athlete, amazing adventurer. But if you look at it, that's it. Kayaking across oceans, not a lot of people do that.
I'm thinking of the Lucky Deck, Dave, because you know Scott Tapley. Scott Tapley lives here in Aptos, and he crossed the English Channel on his 4th attempt. I mean, to go back
Yes.
and go back and go back, and he made it. He was from here to Capitola the 3rd time, and he could see the cars coming down the street, and the tide took him that way
Yeah,
for miles.
Yeah.
And then you had to get him out of the water.
exactly, Scott
But
Donaldson.
but the 4th, I mean, to keep going back and the money and the physicality of everything and the mental strength, the commitment
Yeah.
to finally make it. He's no spring chicken, you know. And
Yeah, it
but
takes-
unbelievable, unbelievable mental resolve to go back
Yeah.
and keep doing it, you know.
yeah.
Right?
Dave told me the difference between being nuts and crazy.
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit nuts to go back to that, but yeah, it's passion and it's drive. Yeah.
Which you have.
I want to do this. I want to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'll learn. I'll learn a lot about myself. I learn so much about, I don't know, the ocean and things. I will live things that nobody else or very little people in the world will live.
Right.
And you can't even explain it.
You know what Chris did? He spent that 93 days alone, right, solo and alone, and right when COVID hit, he went out and spoke to people, and online he had a Facebook page online where he talked to people that were, because of COVID,
Isolated.
were alone.
Yeah.
And he was able to help people through from his situation, from being alone for 93 days and helping people that are alone in their house or apartment that were alone. It was very helpful. And I think you can do the same thing.
I would love this. Look, you know when you go to see a horse race?
Yeah.
And
I always got the wooden leg horse.
yeah, well, you bet $5 on the horse, right?
Yeah, it's always come.
Suddenly, if you don't bet any, you look at the race, the horse go around and around. If you bet $5 on that horse, suddenly that race is much more exciting.
Absolutely.
You're like, whoa. So, yeah, I mean, I'm asking for a little donation. Donate, not because of what I'm going to get. I mean, I'm going to cross to Hawaii, but you'll be so involved in looking at the map every day.
Right.
Where did he go? Wow, he drifted 2 miles during the night. What happened? Look at the blog. I'll have a satellite dish, and I'll be sending videos every 2 days. So jump on board. This is what I want. I want to inspire people to follow their dreams. Now, you don't cross an ocean, but I'll, follow my inspiration and do yours.
Right. People can donate where?
On the website,
Which is?
solokayaktohawaii.com.
solokayaktohawaii.com. I'll put that on the Facebook page so people can refer to it.
Yeah,
so people can donate. They can do a credit because they can donate for a credit card. Or
PayPal and like I don't want to ask for this, but this is a way for them to be
involved.
involved.
Ask, you don't get.
There's so much. There's like I need to work on my skirt because it's not made. It's $200. I need to change the send my radio so we can reset the MMSI number. That's $200. I need to buy a PFD. That's $200. It goes so fast. Boom, boom. It helps.
Do you have sponsors?
I have one sponsor,
which is
Standard Process for the food, and another one, Greg Norman Estates, the golfer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yes. His motto is attack life. And I contacted him, and he said, look, this was me 20 years ago, 30 years ago when I started my career.
Yeah.
I love your energy. Let's do it together. Greg Norman Estates, the wines are going to sponsor you.
Very cool.
He was the first guy
to
put my boat is $60,000. He said, Cyril, I'll give you $20,000 if you put 20 of your own money. Because I was dreaming, there's a chicken and the egg. Give me the money and then I start.
Right.
And so I said, okay, deal. There was 40. That we could start the design. We could start the production. And then I had to put the money in the rest. But it was like, okay, I want to take my savings, put it there, but maybe at the end I'll just sell the boat. I'll have half of the boat, so I'll recoup my savings, but I'll make the dream happen. But Greg Norman was key.
So you get to Hawaii, you were successful, you get to Hawaii. What are you going to do after that? How are you going to be able to help people or tell people about your journey?
So there's a lot of work before that I do. For my first crossing, I spoke to 1,000 kids. And let me tell you a quick story. When I was 25, I went around the world backpacking for $7,000, 1 year traveling. And I went to my little village, Saint-Galon-Mélantois, I told you. There's a high school, there's a little school. I went to, it was my backpack. I said, hey, put a map on the wall. Here's the 26 countries I'm going to do, blah, blah, blah. 5 years later, after the trip, some guy knocks on my door here in Santa Rosa. I was living up north.
Right.
With these 3 bodies and a bike. And they say, hey, we're doing a trip around the world on a bicycle. And I didn't remember the guy. He said, you give me the spark.
In that classroom?
Wow.
Right.
Yes.
Very cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
And then he's going to inspire other people.
Right.
That's a domino effect.
Right.
So part of me, I could cross. That would be an amazing challenge for me. But I want other people to think that they can do it. It's very much American spirit. I know you're English native. I'm a French native.
Yeah.
we arrive here, there's this energy,
Yeah.
like you can do whatever you want. And this is true. And sometimes Americans actually don't remember it because they were born in it. And it takes us to come here like, what? I can do anything I want. And I want to give that, I think the kids are the most easy to inspire because they have eyes open.
Yeah.
And I'm not a LeBron James that they see on TV that they never meet. I'm Cyril, the normal guy that lives in...
He doesn't want to die.
Yeah! No, but the guy that they can talk to. And that I will answer their questions.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the kind of inspiration we need. The normal guy that does crazy thing or amazing thing that they can do later.
Yeah.
15 years later, the spark will flame.
Unbelievable. Dave, you got any questions, Dave?
No, I'm out of questions.
You good?
No.
How did we do?
Did great.
Yeah, we good?
You can tell the
Awesome.
guy has some enthusiasm.
Yeah. You got the enthusiasm. He's good for you.
Yes.
He's got his feet on the ground.
Yeah.
He's, so he's the right
So
guy for that
Dave
job.
will be the center key.
Yeah.
With the climate guy.
Yeah. So
the
you have,
router.
you have your team of people
I have a team,
is
yeah.
Dave and the climate guy.
Yeah.
Right, who else?
And I've got Carlo. He's my. Okay, here's the story. Carlo, he crossed with me the Pacific, and I said, "Look, I got many things to figure out. Do you want to help me?" Last 2 months,
Right.
every Monday we'd be on the clock about getting ready physically, mentally, the boat, and then he said, last week, you know what? I want to be on the water. So he went to San Diego. He bought a single rowing boat. And I think he's going to be on the Lucky Deck pretty soon because he's leaving also from here to go
Right.
to Hawaii
Right.
at the same time.
Well, you talked to me yesterday about you and him and maybe Birdish all
Yeah.
leaving from the same time. That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. But I
Right?
think, for emotional reasons, or Chris will want to leave from Half Moon Bay because
Yeah.
that's where he did Maverick.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll start from anywhere.
Anywhere, right?
I would love to start
I want you to
with
start
Carlo.
right here.
There's sharks over here.
That's true.
Yeah, but no, for me, I think take off with Carlo in different vessels.
Yeah.
Would be good. After 3 hours, we won't see each other because, I mean, the first night he's drifting faster, I'm drifting slower, whatever.
Got music?
Yes.
What are you
I have-
listening? What are you listening to on the
Oh.
journey? What do you got?
I like Dire Straits. Look,
Mark Knopfler fan.
I love it.
Attaboy.
That I love.
There we go.
I love Queen. I love
Sick of it
ABBA.
by the end.
What's that?
You might be sick of it by the end.
Listen, I love Celine Dion.
Yeah.
It's a
I
joke
won't
because
let, we just, I
I
won't
need
let
something
anybody know.
romantic. I need something romantic in the boat that comforts me. So when I get in the cocoon, I listen to that.
I think you should listen to the Off Flip Radio Show podcast.
Yes.
Almost 500 shows.
Put it on a
No.
thumb drive. You
That's
my,
right. I can do
my
that.
other idea is to download the whole season, all the seasons of Seinfeld.
Yeah, there you go.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
when
can
you-
laugh
during
your
the
ass
storm,
off
yeah.
out there. There you go. Forget my show. That's even better. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
No.
be funny. But
We'll see. Maybe I won't use it. I want to have it in case.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say, look, once you're in there, you get into that mode
The
where,
rhythm.
you
Right.
cannot forget about everything. And
Right.
the issue would be to be on your head too much, like calculate the miles, you're doing too much. And am I doing good? I mean, no,
Too much
worry.
too much
so
thinking.
that's when the music comes in. You listen
Yeah.
to audiobook, podcast.
Right.
That's a great way to get out of your head.
Right, absolutely. Hey, Cyril, good luck. This is the lucky deck, man.
Yes,
You're on
I'll
the
see you again when I
you're
come
on the
back
lucky
then.
deck. You come back on the deck, and we'll do it again.
I love it.
Thank you very, very much.
I love it.
Huh? Loved it. And good luck to you.
Yes, appreciate it.
Huh?
Well, listen, I'm taking off. You could go on a sit on top kayak and follow me from South Lee to the Golden Gate. 45 minutes. Follow me.
That'd be cool.
30th of May. Do it.
I will do it.
Yeah, that'll be so emotional.
That'd be
Ah,
very, very cool.
crying. A lot of people. That's
lot of
life.
people, huh?
Let's do it. Everybody's invited.
Thank you. Thanks for coming down today.
Let's do it.
We've had a good time. Thanks.
Thanks, Neil.